Pretty much everyone knows that Midas are really at the top of the pile when it comes to live sound mixers. But here's a Midas desk that's got Firewire capability that I think is going to be very exciting in the studio. Richard, can you tell us a little bit about this rather impressive looking desk and something about the Firewire capabilities? Because as I understand it, this is the hub of a complete studio almost.
But I'm not sure if you're familiar with the older Venice model. That's now a 10-year-old console, and our policy is to replace products at 10-year intervals. So this is the update on the Midas Venice. We've made a number of significant changes over the outgoing model. We listen to our customers a lot, and we take their comments on board. So we've made those improvements as part of the design process. So first of all, the phantom power switch has been moved from the back of the console to the surface. We've added a polarity invert switch, and we've also added a new mic pre, which has been designed by Alex Cooper, who is the guy who designed the mic pre's in the XL4, Heritage and XL8 consoles. Moving down the console, we have both an analog and a digital direct out, which have pre or post EQ switching, and we'll come back to the digital side of this analog console in a couple of seconds. Switchable analog insert point. And then we've taken the EQ section off the XL3 and added it to the Venice console. So we have 4-band swept EQ with parametric mid-range. So that's an unprecedented level of EQ on a console this size. EQ bypass switch, 6 auxiliary sends. The first pair is switchable pre or post EQ, and all 6 auxiliary sends can switch pre or post fade. Individual routing to groups, a discrete mono bus, and we've replaced the older Venice's 60mm faders with a very nice smooth 100mm fader instead. All 3 of the frame sizes feature 4 stereo channels, and the stereo channels now have stereo mic inputs with polarity reversal on the left hand side and also phantom power, so you can run stereo condenser mics or stereo active DIs on the stereo mic inputs. We also have a stereo line input on the same channel with separate gain control, and it is possible to route the stereo line input direct to masters while the stereo line mic input continues down the channel. So you can use the mic input and the line input at the same time. 2 channels of matrix. We also have a playback input and an oscillator on board the console. So just going back to the reason why we refer to this console as a Digilog console, it is a perfectly straightforward, easy to use, great sounding analog mixer. However, it does have a 32 channel by 32 channel Firewire digital audio interface on it. So that means we can connect the mixing console to our computer and run our favorite DAW software on the computer, and the processing on the computer can then be used as digital inserts on an analog mixer. I can also route mix buses to the Firewire interface as well, so I can route my auxiliary sends via the Firewire to effects on the computer and then return those effects to the Firewire inputs on the stereo channels. So you really do have the best of both worlds, a great sounding compact analog mixer plus all the power and flexibility of digital processing on the side. All 3 of the frame sizes, that's 16, 24 and 32, come complete with a 60-day trial version of Record by Propellerhead. So this gives you 32-track simultaneous recording. It supports all of the Propellerhead plugins, effects, and also you get a virtual mixer in the software which you can superimpose on the analog mixer. So tremendous value, extremely accessible pricing, and what's most important is a great sounding Midas mixing console. Thank you very much for listening.
Well, thanks very much, Richard. That was a good, clear explanation, and I believe this is all shipping now.
They are in fact shipping now, but we've got a huge load of orders on, so if you do want one, I wish you would get your order in very soon.